Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. So look on the screen, this lady here. I think she's got two master's degrees, a lot of experience as a teacher in the Houston ISD Independent School District, and she is fighting to keep her job. Let's go ahead and listen to this quick story, and I want to do a commentary on it, and also, uh, this is nothing new. I've seen this before. I've heard about this in Houston. So let's take a quick listen and then let's have a conversation.
A Houston ISD teacher is fighting for her job. Now, you may remember a number of HISD principals have been let go in some recent years. And as Fox 26's Dominique Keith tells us, this educator says she believes this is more fallout from those terminations.
Linda Faye Scott says she taught at HISD's Jane Long High School for 2 years and a total of 15 years with the district. And she says suddenly her contract was not renewed and she was let go. You feel like this is age discrimination?
It's age discrimination. It's also racial discrimination because the building that they sent me to August 1st to report to, all of the women there were African American women, all over 55 years old, and we were all sitting there with made up stuff. Now,
and so you were at that campus because once they did not renew your contract, you filed an appeal, so they had to renew the contract pending your hearing that's coming up.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of the issues started when your principal was marched out and terminated in October of 2023.
Absolutely. I have 2 master's degrees. I'm certified in English. I know my craft. I did nothing wrong. They decided they wanted my job and they took it. And they kept my stipend, my $3,000 commitment stipend.
And after teaching in the district for 15 years, how disheartening was it for you not to have your contract renewed?
It was very disheartening. Even my students were upset.
Did you want to share your age for the story?
I'm the same age as the superintendent of Houston ISD, and he gets to go to work every day at his age.
So will Scott get to keep her job? This week, an independent hearing examiner will hear from both sides and then make a recommendation to HISD's board.
Okay, let's have a conversation. I agree with her. Oh, yeah. This is nothing new. Houston ISD. It's not. I've heard about this years ago, and this has been quite some time. They're very good of getting rid of older black teachers, is my opinion. Why? Because I've heard about this before of them. Again, this is nothing new. Maybe it's new to her, but I've heard about this. Oh my gosh, lady, about 6 to 8 years back. Yeah. And what they did, they got rid of all the, pretty much at one school, about all the African American teachers except 2. And they brought in an influx of all Caucasian female teachers right out of college. Uh-huh. Right out of college. People, you had teachers there with 10 to 20 years experience were let go. Brought in, it's like, but all these people are right out of college. Yeah. So this right here does not surprise me at all. So when she's saying, oh, it's about her age and race, of course, this is not the first time this has happened to my knowledge. Trust me.
Not renewed, and she was let go. You feel like this is age discrimination?
It's age discrimination. It's also racial discrimination because the building that they sent me to August 1st to report to, all of the women there were African American women.
And it's not the first time.
All over 55
I've heard of this.
Years old. And we were all sitting there with made
They will get you at 42. Trust me.
Up stuff. Now,
and so you were at that campus because once they did not renew your contract, you filed an appeal, so they had to renew the contract pending your hearing that's coming up.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of the issues started when your principal was marched out and terminated in October of 2023.
Absolutely. I have 2 master's degrees. I'm certified in English. I know my craft. I did nothing wrong. They decided they wanted my job and they took it.
Sorry.
And they kept my stipend, my $3,000 commitment stipend.
And after teaching in the district for 15 years, how disheartening was it for you not to have your contract renewed?
It was very disheartening. Even my students were.
Okay, so she says even her students were upset. Really? And see, here's the part that I got to bring in the parents. People don't sometimes understand that there's power in numbers. When this happened the first time that I'd heard about it, I thought to myself, I was like, well, wow, this is going to impact the students. Again, it's not the first time. I have heard about this happening before years ago. I kid you not. And so when I heard about it happening at that time, my thought process is this right here. Okay, there's power in numbers. You do understand the teachers are paid, the schools, tax dollars. So, in my opinion, my question is, okay, so who's a member of the PTA? Parents got to get more involved. And I mentioned this to a friend of mine. Parents have got to get more involved. Do you really think that parents, let's say that when that happened, I was telling you about when they took in all Caucasian students. So do you really think that you're going to have a school and you're going to go ahead, let's say you have a school that's predominantly with Caucasian kids, okay? White students. Do you really think you're going to go in there and say, okay, well, guess what? We're going to go ahead and let all the white teachers go and bring in all black teachers. I have a news flash for you. It's not going to happen. Why? The parents would be protesting. The parents would be downtown at the admin office, and you can trust and believe the parents going to get something going on. And I don't mean just the email campaign. They're going to make their voices heard. When I heard this happening years ago in Houston, that was my thing. I'm like, so what are the parents doing? You need teachers, especially with experience, and people are not teaching for the money because if you ask me, it's not much money in it. It's not even worth it. You can make more money, I think, in the private sector. And guess what? Less stress. You won't get smacked around or blamed because a darn child comes from a dysfunctional home and can't read worth a darn. So my thing is, when this happened, I thought to myself, are the kids going home? You come home. When I grew up, the first thing your mom said, she was a housewife, was, how was school today? How you doing? And what we want to know is what's for dinner and get to your room. You understand what I'm saying? So it's things like this here. The community, you can affect change. You can say, hey, my kid needs this teacher. You can affect change and try to put the pressure on. At least try. I'm not saying, there's no guarantee, but you can make your voices heard. The mothers and fathers should be galvanized, getting together, having meetings. What's going on? They really should. And it's going to take more than 10 or 15, 20 people. How do you not know what's going on in your school? A teacher like this here should be cherished. So my thing is, I want to know, where in the heck is the community support? Can someone please tell me, where is it? I don't see it. And I mentioned it before. I'm like, well, what are the parents doing? Oh, nothing. I'm like, the parents should start to get involved and demand, hey, when they're letting go of these seasoned teachers and they're bringing in, somebody that's just brand new to the game, the parents need to definitely get involved and say, hey, we demand that we have seasoned quality teachers. Not saying that the brand new ones aren't, but you're just new out the gate. So it's things like that. It makes me wonder, again, what in the heck are the parents doing? Are you really taking an active position in your child's learning? Who the teachers are, who they can relate to? Why aren't the parents and with the PTA hearing about this and saying, hey, we have got to do something to protect our seasoned teachers? Why isn't that happening? Let me guess. Everybody else is too busy, or maybe guess what? It's not important enough. See, it's things like this that happen. There needs to be community involvement. Not just hitting the streets because, oh my goodness, somebody got popped by the cops. No, you need to demand action. Why isn't it happening? This is in Texas, Houston, Texas. Understand, Texas is what? An at-will state, which means they can let you go or not renew your contract for any reason. It's at-will state. They don't have to have a reason. Again, my thing is, why aren't the parents, if you value your students' education, the individuals that are good teachers who are dedicated, who want to be there, why in the heck are you not sitting up here advocating for the students, for your children, to say, hey, we demand quality. We demand quality. We demand experienced teachers. Why is that not happening? It's not happening because you know what? Everybody's too busy and no one really cares. As long as my kid goes to school, I got so much going on, I don't have time for that. Then you want to sit up here and complain about, well, guess what? This teacher cannot relate to my student. And even if it's not about that, it's about the fact that a person wants to be there. She has two masters. So yeah, I am saying, hey, what are the parents doing? Do they care? Do they give a darn about having a seasoned teacher who wants to be in that classroom? This is when teachers, for parents that care, this is when you should go ahead and get involved. This is when the parents, if you really care and you want your student to have a teacher that wants to be there, that they can relate to, this is when you can go ahead and get involved and make yourself known. But let me guess, nobody got time for that. And I think these teachers would appreciate that. For women like her, when does your community ever stand up for you? And I don't mean because, oh, it was a crime. It's things like this here, how people can affect change or at least put the pressure on to minimize it, maybe stop it, make yourself heard. But it's things like this here, a lot of our people, the community, they're not concerned about it. Oh, that's a personal problem. You have to learn how to get together, voice your opinion, make your stance known, not just because a black man and every now and then a black woman has gotten got by the cops. It's things like this. Teachers matters. They matter. Who want to put up with these kids anyway? So yeah, this right here happening, I want to find out, what are the parents going to do? I'm not a parent, so I don't, I'm not a parent. But my thing is, it was like when this happened the first time, I'm like, well, what are the parents doing? Are they just standing around just watching? Your kid comes home. Do you not ask, hey, how was school today? What's going on? Do you not ask those questions? Oh, my favorite teacher. Do you not? The PTA, what's going on? Is anybody showing up at the PTA? So it's things like this here, little battles that are so very important. It's very important. Again, show me a school, and I'm using this as an example. Let's say you have a school that is predominantly Caucasian, predominantly Asian, and say, hey, we're going to go ahead and get a lot of rid of the older teachers. Like I said, I have heard about this before, and they brought in all new Caucasian female teachers who were just right out of college, no experience. The experienced ones, older ones, were bye-bye. Yes, indeed. So it's issues like this here that the community needs to learn how to fight. Fight for your teachers if it's not too much to ask. And if some say, hey, that's not my problem, this person's a problem, I don't want to be bothered, then guess what? So when it comes to a point and your son or daughter has a teacher that maybe can't relate to them, or you're like, oh no, they're always sending my child to the principal's office. Oh my goodness, this teacher's a different coach, can't relate to my kid. Guess what? When you see these things happen, you fail to take action or to at least try. Guess what? That's on you. Being a teacher, a thankless job. So yeah, I've heard of this before, and again, I still want to know, what are the parents doing? You're hearing about this, okay, and then what? While you're not getting together, go down to the admin office, call the principal. What's going on with this here? It's your tax dollars. It's not free. It's only free if you're an illegal immigrant. Other than that, the taxes, property taxes, that's where the money's coming from. Who's going to stand up for the teachers? I guess everybody's too busy. We don't have time. Maybe that's what's up. But that was the first thing that hit my mind. Okay, the PTA, what the heck is going on? Is anyone saying anything? What's up? So I'm afraid these ladies, I mean, like I said, it's not the first time. They're going to be just, and if you have faith in that system, again, I've heard about that too. If you have faith in the system about the appeals, and they've already taken the $3,000. If you have faith in that system, I wish you well. But yeah, PTA, what are the parents doing? Maybe everybody's just too busy, or we don't care. Anyway, hats off to teachers. They are, in my opinion, so much appreciated. I had great ones growing up. Love some of them. I tell you, had a major effect on me. My mom is part of the PTA. So what the heck is going on with the parents? Do you really give a darn? If you give a darn, then get involved. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment. I wish all of them the very best. Again, I have already heard about this in H-Town, Houston ISD. I've heard about this, not the first time, but this seems to be typical if it's still happening as to how this goes down. So let me know what your thoughts are. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. And I'm out. Gotta go.